Hey, I'm Nick, and I help people improve their productivity and discipline in order to reach their dream lifestyle. And today, I want to talk about the importance of still doing work after school, or even with the fact that you probably don't have much time as you usually would, like on a weekend. Now, first off, I understand how work can be hard to do, especially after you've just come home from your job or from school, and a lot of your energy has already been used for the day, especially if you've come from the habit of coming straight home and just relaxing, watching TV, or winding down entirely before you've tried starting to be more productive and building up your discipline. But the thing is, giving up entirely on doing work later in the weekdays means that the only time you'll ever be working on your goals is on the weekend, and those 2 days just isn't really enough to reach your goals as quickly as you could be. And so instead of deciding that you're already run down and it's going to be hard to do any work, push past that excuse and still do it even when you're tired. And I've made a whole separate video on that by itself earlier before. And the excuse of you're already tired and you've already done work from your job or school is one of those excuses that are one of the most important to push past and actually level up how much work and effort you're able to do throughout the day in order to reach your goals. Now, if that's still difficult for you to do because you are legitimately tired, then that is once again a matter of leveling up your discipline, leveling up your productivity, which is the whole core of this channel. If you're struggling with that, look back on earlier videos, or I have that one-on-one coaching that I still do using the first link in the description below. But as a whole, you should just never be giving up just because you're tired. Even if you are exhausted and you aren't able to get any noticeable work done anyways, just the fact that you stayed awake and that you stayed alert and that you may have sat down at your desk and gotten ready, even if the amount of work wasn't that much, the fact that you still tried matters. And doing that over and over again, getting the reps in, builds that up so that you're actually able to do the work when the time comes around for it. And so that is why it's so important to still work towards your goals, even on the weekdays, even on the days where you've just came back from work, just came back from school, you're still slotting in that time to get some of your goals done. Even if you come back home and it's 4 o'clock and you may have a very, very rigid sleep schedule and you've only got a few more hours until dinner and some other chores and responsibilities, still using those 3 hours are important for your consistency, for your discipline, and for your actual work ethic. But if you're still struggling with that idea of working in small time frames, like I've mentioned before, the theory that the shorter the deadline, the more effort that you'll subconsciously put into in order to reach that deadline. If you only give yourself a couple hours to do a little task, then it's only going to take that long. If you keep things in small bubbles where you get it done one by one, it means that you'll be able to get a lot closer to doing it in that time than you may have originally thought. You may think that you need a whole day set aside to get something done, but if you work at it through every weekday, then you're able to actually chip away at it and get little blocks done each time because you've set small deadlines for them. And like I mentioned before, the abundance is not what we're aiming for. We are aiming for consistency. We are aiming for little improvements every day, little bits of progress every day, so that by the end of the week, we've done a chunk. By the end of the month, we've done a big part of it. And by the end of the year, we are far away from where we've started. So if you could take one thing from today, it's to just build up that extra discipline, build up that extra bout of energy for after work, after school. You still sit down and you get something done. You spend an hour, just one focused hour, just doing something, and that's going to make waves later in the week, later in the month, later in the year. The consistency is what matters. So that's it for today. However, if you're still interested in learning more about productivity tips and tricks, I've now started one-on-one coaching, which you can book a call for using the first link in the description below. But until then, I'll see you later.